used to believe in an afterlife, or think about one. I kind of thought real life was temporary, like a trip to the beach. Hey, do you want to get hot dogs? I haven't had a hot dog in a long time. Anyway, my parents were atheists, so believing in the afterlife was a secret, kind of a secret place for me. My best friend went to church. He showed me depictions of heaven and hell in his illustrated Bible. He told me that basically everyone is a sinner. My idea of the afterlife was not like that, though. It was more like there was no space or time, so without time you wouldn't have to sleep or get hungry or whatever. I had a hard time falling asleep back then. In the summer I'd watch the moon from my window. In the winter, the stars and black sky. It's so weird eating a hot dog. It happened so fast, it's like it didn't happen at all. In the afterlife, they're probably not like eating hot dogs all the time. If time isn't moving, you can't eat a hot dog and then just forget about it. In 4th grade, I ate a hot dog for lunch every single day. On the last day, my parents picked me up together and took me out to celebrate. My mother asked if I wanted to get hot dogs, since that was my favorite food. But I was so sick of hot dogs, I said, I'll never eat another hot dog again. Don't you feel like eating hot dogs must be a sin? Maybe most things feel like a sin, but it's so easy to eat a whole hot dog without even thinking about all the fucked up pigs or the terrible things that go into making a hot dog cost $1. I mean, it has to be a sin. If there's a heaven and a hell, hot dogs are in hell. After the 4th grade, my family moved to the suburbs, 20 minutes away from the house where I grew up, with my friend on the other side of a brick wall. My parents told me it wasn't far, but my friend said it was really far, past the science museum and the high school and the soccer fields. We went exploring in the woods behind my house, and eventually we were in someone else's backyard, where we found something we'd only ever dreamed of seeing, a full-size trampoline. We watched for a long time to see if anyone was home, but there was no movement, just the motionless black trampoline in the middle of a vast field of light green, short-cut grass. We jumped for hours, doing flips, back tucks, aerials, and jumping off the edge and rolling into the grass like we were thrown from an exploding airplane. When we got tired, we lay on our backs, watching the sky, and then we heard a voice coming from the house. We froze, watching as a woman approached. I saw she was smiling. She said, "Don't be scared, I just wanted to say hello. I'm glad someone is getting use from this old thing." I said, "I just moved here," which was the only thing I could think to say. She said, "Welcome to the neighborhood," and then we watched her walk back to the house. The next day I went back alone. I was doing backflips, trying to make myself into a smaller and smaller ball each time. Suddenly the woman said, "Hi." I froze in midair and fell off the trampoline. She said, "Why aren't you in church?" It was a Sunday morning. I said, "We don't go to church," and she said, "Me neither." I asked her, "Do you believe in hell?" She laughed and said, "No, not really." I had never talked about the afterlife with anyone other than my friend. I told her about my version where there's no time. She said, "That sounds nice," and then, "What about in hell?" A few weeks later, my mom was driving me to soccer practice, and she said, "Mrs. Augustine was telling me about your thoughts on the afterlife. She said it was interesting." I told my mom I had just been joking. I was nervous on the bus going to the first day at the special science high school. There were only a few of us from my county. At the cafeteria, I saw my friend in line. I hadn't seen him since we discovered that trampoline. It had been over 4 years. When we got to the front, he asked for the vegetarian option, basically just sides. I ordered the vegetarian option too. He was really excited we were both vegetarians. He said, "Remember when we used to hate broccoli? I love broccoli now." And we laughed. Later we were reading comics at his house next to my old house, and he gave me one that was like an allegory about Jesus. And I remembered he was religious and all of those conversations we had about heaven and hell. At dinner with his parents, we ate beans and spinach. His father wore a pair of large clear glasses. His mother was very beautiful. She had dark, graying, shoulder-length hair. When my friend came to our place for dinner a week later, I told my mom we had to pretend to all be vegetarians. She said, "You ate an entire lobster last night." The dinner was quiet. I was worried that someone would talk and accidentally reveal that we were secular and meat eaters. That summer I worked in my mother's lab, making 3D models of molecules on a seemingly ancient computer. Afterward, I would walk down to the river and sit with my friend on the rocks. At the end of summer, my friend's grandfather died, and I was invited to the funeral. My mom got me a shirt with buttons. I felt like I wasn't really supposed to be there. There was an open casket. Looking at the big gray face, wet and shiny and caked in makeup, I knew, like in my stomach, there was no afterlife. My friend looked shaky and went to the bathroom. I floated away like a satellite lost in orbit. In the hallway, I gravitated toward a table covered in a long white cloth. I was achingly hungry. There was a big tray of pigs in a blanket, rows of untouched tiny hot dogs, crispy, glistening, wrapped in dough. I had dunked my 5th pig in a blanket into the white bowl of ketchup when I saw my friend, teary-eyed, watching me. I shouldn't have eaten it, but it was just in my hand, waiting in front of my mouth, and it was the quickest way to get it out of sight. He said nothing. No one spoke on the long ride home from the funeral.